Hey guys, so I have a Pro 2000 Proform Treadmill that is not working. So I called someone. The guy came, diagnosed the issue, and he told me to kind of change the motor, as you can see here, and the control board. So I've ordered the parts and then I'm just trying to do it myself instead of calling this guy and see, because I mean the issue for me was to kind of diagnose the problem, but replacing the part should be straightforward. So I'm trying this out. As you can see, the front panel is open, and I can access the motor and the control board. What I've done so far is, just to let you know, I loosened the screws. There are like screws in there, which I had to lose. One thing that I couldn't find easily is the measurement of the Allen wrench. And what I realized is, to actually make it work for Proform 2000 model from Proform, you need 7 by 32 Allen wrench. So that was the issue for me. As you can see, it has 7 by 32 measurement. The key that was missing, that I needed actually for this work, and this is that key. I have used this key to kind of loosen both the ends on that side. I loosened the ends by 15 turns, 15 whole turns, and then what that allowed me to do is kind of pull this out, and so it's out of the bracket. The pulley is out of the bracket. The belt is kind of loosened now, and now I can access. Hopefully, I can now take out the motor. And what I'm gonna do next is remove these screws, so I can remove the motor from its housing and put the new motor, which is kind of here. So as you can see, the new motor is here. So I'm gonna put it there. The motor will be supported by these two screws that I'll show you here. So I need to remove these two screws and put the motor there. So now you can see the motor is out from the housing. I removed the two screws that were holding the motor in place. The weird thing is, the moment I unscrewed the second one, it kind of fell off. So it seems like it's hanging in the air. So I'm just wondering, how will I be able to put it back in its place, given that it's so heavy? So I'll have to probably use some leverage, if you will. What I did was, while I was removing the motor, I didn't remove the wires from the control board, but I actually cut those wires so that I'll remember, so that I can remember where these wires go and then how I use them. So let's see. I'll keep you posted. So here is my old motor and this is my new motor. What I did so far is, I realized that the new motor didn't have the wiring for basically the ground wiring. There was no ground wire. It was actually, this wire was attached in the old motor, and the whole setup, including this flange, I used this 11 mm socket with this, and then that kind of helped me to remove the ground wire from that old motor, and I put it in the new motor. One thing I also learned after I opened this bolt, this whole screw actually fell in, and I had to bring the motor upside down to bring it out again. So I used a screwdriver to hold the screw in place like that. So kind of lifted the screw with the screwdriver, and then I used the other hand to screw the bolt into the screw. That should be done. I had to actually remove this fan from the new motor to access the inside, and the removal wasn't difficult. You basically pry it open, just you have to do gentle pulls using something like a screwdriver or something, and then ultimately it'll pop up, because as you can see it's basically a hole and then this shaft, and it kind of shifts, the fan kind of shifts, sits on the shaft just like that. So I'm gonna push it in, and then the motor should be ready to go in there. So what I did was I used a piece of foam like this. Again, this was part of the packaging. I kind of rolled it up and put it underneath the motor. I still have to do some lifting. It wasn't easy, but finally I got in. The screws are in now, and I just need to tighten them up, and after that I'll get to the wiring part of it. Okay, so the motor is in. I have tightened the screws. I used half-inch wrench, and that kind of worked for me. So it's up to you what you have. Board, I noticed the dangling ground wire from the motor, so I put it back in the frame. So this is the new motor and the new ground wire. So let me get back to the control board unscrewing. So I opened the packet, the control board packet, and I found these parts. This is the control board itself. See, it has this aluminum frame as well. It's sitting on the aluminum frame, which means I don't have to deal with the frame. It's already framed in, which is good for me. They've given us an extra spare ground wire. I'll see how it will fit in there, because I haven't opened the control board yet. There is also a zip tie, not sure what to do with it. And then there's this connector. Probably this will connect somewhere. I'll figure it out. Okay, I think what's happening here in the old and new controller is that these three, if you notice, right, we have this bunch of wires that's going in the old controller, and then next to it is other wire. I think it's the power to the controller that's going in here, and then there's another pin which is like a 2-pin kind of insert. This is a 3-pin insert, and this is a multi-pin insert, right, for multiple wires here. In the new controller, I think what they've done is they've put them in a series, so it's the same sort of setup but in a different configuration, if you will. So they have 2, 3, and then the other bunch together. So I'm gonna just like hook the power here and the bunch of wires here. Okay, let's look at it together so we don't mess it up. So this white wire, which is going here, seems that that's gonna go here in the first prong. So it'll go in here, and the second prong has this blue wire. Probably this was the part from the motor. This is gonna sit here in the new controller, the second prong here, and I'm trying to figure out where the wires from the transformer will go. These 3 wires, where will they sit in this new controller? Because I am not able to see yet where they can go, but it seems that maybe it could be this pin that's coming out. So let me remove this and see what the pin for this looks like, and then see if this actually goes in there or not. So let's do that. So before I remove it, there are still a bunch of wires I realized are connected to this. There's this white wire going in here, this blue wire. Okay, so the white wire is actually coming in from the main power. As you can see, it's the main power, and then it's going in the controller here, and then this blue wire is from the motor, because I had cut it earlier, so it's from there. But other than this white wire, the only thing that's kind of the only thing that's keeping it locked is this bunch of wires here. So if I remove that, I think then we can just pull it out. So I'm gonna remove this here and this here. So that's correct. This has 5 pins, 5 5 holes in it, as you can see here. I don't know if my camera can focus on this, but yeah, there you can see there are 5 holes and there are 5 pins sticking out. So I'm gonna put it there, and then the white, as we discussed, is gonna go here. So I'm gonna put the new controller and then change the whites. So after I removed this from the controller and the power pin, this one, I wiggled it out, and then it seems that it's coming out now. I just need to remove this and put the new one in. So I've put the wiring back in place for the controller. So the wires are going in the controller, hopefully in the right places, from the motor. And this is the old controller. I'm gonna now just try it out before I put the screws in, to ensure that this setup is working. And then once I've tried it out, I can then start putting things back in place. So let me try it out and hopefully it works. So pray for me, my friends. So I connected the treadmill. It's connected, as you can see here, to the mains. The wire is going in to the treadmill, and the positive sign is I see a light here. So it seems it's doing something. The controller is working. There are lights on the controller, and let me see if I can start it. So let me put the magnetic switch in place here, the magnetic key, whatever you want to call it, the security key. And then see, the moment I put it there, it's showing me 0 on the controller. And let's click on the start button and hopefully it'll work. Let's see. I'll show you the motor as well. The motor is here. And let me do it this way, zoom out a little bit so you can see both. Clicking on the start button and see what happens with the motor down below. Started. It's not doing anything. Should have started the motor at this point in time. Let me turn the speed on. Speed. But the motor is not kicking off for some reason. Let's see what I am missing here. So stop, start, didn't work, stop. So I'll have to figure out why the motor is not running. Let's see. So guys, I figured out why the treadmill wasn't working. The reason is when I took out the wires from the old controller, the old controller had a wire in this location, at this location, which you can see has 5 pins. If I can zoom in here, 5 pins. And when I took that wire, I was expecting it to go in a place with 5 pins. And I'll show it on a new controller. I actually put it back, but I'll show you the image that I took. So in the new controller, I put it in the place where I thought the 5 pins should go, but actually it doesn't go in that location. It goes in another location which looks like a 3-pin location, and that's where it needs to go. And the reason is, what later I found out, that even when it was connected here in this 5-pin socket, the 2 pins were dormant, so they were not working. So ultimately it was using only 3 pins to communicate. So that's why when I put it on the new board in the new location, which seems like a 3-pin location, it still worked. So that's a lesson learned. So don't make the same mistake and just put the wire in the location that is shown here. Let me show you here. You can see the numbers here. the start button is working, and when I click on start, the controller is showing the readings, and here the belt is moving as well, just to show you. So it's working nicely. I actually used it yesterday and there was no problem, so it's a success.